Hey, so I do bisexualism, not homosexualism, and I don't agree with homosexualism, nor heterosexualism. I consider them both as harmful and violent sexual practices that exclude others and favor a gender, a sex. So, and it seems to me there's philosophy behind it. It's not biology. So first off, I consider bisexualism as a practice that follows evolutionary practices. Bonobos, for instance, have indiscriminate sex approximately 47 times per day. So, I consider the philosophy of bisexualism, this is my perspective of bisexualism. Other people may do bisexualism for different causes, different purposes, but I do it via hedonism, biohedonism, in order to maximize pleasure and minimize pain. So, when it comes to male-on-male interaction, it's about pleasure, and it's not about preference or favoritism. It's more than just pleasure, but I mean those other causes really mainly affect pleasure. So with homosexualism, another thing, I don't see people lumping LGBT together. You just lump them together since they get considered alternate sexual practices. But that seems to suggest that they relate to each other, and I don't desire getting related to people doing homo and transsexualism. So another cause of what causes me to value bisexualism rather than homosexualism is that biology. Males have penises, women have vaginas, and vaginas produce children, and sperm goes into a vagina to have an infant come out of a vagina. When you put two men together, sperm goes into a buttocks, and that buttocks cannot produce children. It cannot fertilize sperm. So, therefore, that person and those two individuals will not reproduce, and their genetic succession will cease, and that lineage will go extinct. That doesn't work with life, and that causes devolution. And also with heterosexualism, yes, It works with life, but it excludes compassion and empathy and bonding with males, which is important to avoid violence and to increase pleasure and bonding. It's a way to when males get frustrated with each other in bonobos, they copulate because it produces serotonin and oxytocin, and it relieves stress. And people seem to think it's an unclean way of sex, and I agree under a majority of circumstances, because a majority of people have toxic bodies and are behind contains feces, and you don't want toxic clunked up feces in an anus. So you want a healthy individual that eats fruits and eats them in proportional quantities, not of excess. So when people doing heterosexualism, they favor one sex. Yes, females can only get pregnant, so they get valued more when it comes to reproduction, but in each other aspect, they don't. So, and that doesn't, bisexuality doesn't include masculinity nor femininity. Those don't relate or matter in terms of sexual pleasure. So the pleasure behind homosexualism includes sacrifice. You sacrifice your body, your future, your succession, and that either seems like a nihilism to me, or like existentialism or determinism, and I don't agree with those. And heterosexualism it discriminates against interaction. That's called, I think that would be considered totalitarianistic hierarchicism, or oligarchicalism. So, you can leave your comments and suggestions below, and I request you don't do ad hominem attacks, and moralistic judgments. I request you do value judgments and not blame or shame this message, nor my perspective. Take into consideration information involved and not go by hearsay or promote violence. I request that people do compassionate, empathetical, disagree, agree with science and logic behind their perspective. Bye.